two legendary figures, two worlds colliding, one driven by faith, the other by chivalry. On one side, Saladin, the Sultan who unified the Muslim world under the banner of the Crescent moon. On the other, Richard the Lionheart, the Christian king known for his bravery and battle tactics. What happens when these two icons of the Crusades clash on the blood-soaked fields of the Holy Land? This is a story of honor, rivalry, and a surprising twist of respect between enemies. Stay with us as we delve into the epic story of Saladin and the Crusades, where the Lionheart met the Crescent. The year is 1137, and the place, Tikrit, a small town along the Tigris River. A child is born who will one day become a symbol of strength and unity in the Islamic world. Salahudin Yusuf ibn Ayyub, known to the West as Saladin. Raised in a time of division among Muslim states, Saladin would grow up witnessing a fractured Islamic world, struggling to defend itself against the encroaching Crusaders. As a young man, Saladin served under his uncle Shirkuh, a military commander in the service of the Zengid dynasty. Together they journeyed to Egypt, where Saladin's strategic mind and loyalty earned him a high rank. But it was in 1171 that he took a monumental step. He became the Sultan of Egypt, ending the Fatimid Caliphate and bringing the region under Sunni rule. Saladin's vision was clear: unite the Muslim world to reclaim Jerusalem, the city held by the Crusaders since 1099. But he knew that to achieve this, he would need more than just swords and arrows. He needed to be a leader, a symbol of hope for his people, and a force that could bring the scattered Muslim states together. Meanwhile, across the Mediterranean, a new player was about to enter the stage. Richard I of England, known as Richard the Lionheart, ascended to the throne in 1889. Brave, strategic, and ambitious, Richard took up the cross and vowed to reclaim Jerusalem for Christendom, leading the Third Crusade alongside other European monarchs. For Richard, this was more than just a religious mission. It was a chance to solidify his reputation as a warrior king. But little did he know that his fiercest adversary would be a man who was as devout and cunning as he was, Saladin. The first major clash between Saladin and Richard took place at the city of Acre in 1991. Acre was a strategic port, and whoever controlled it would have a gateway to the entire Levant. Saladin's forces had laid siege to the city, but now faced a new challenge: Richard's Crusader army, arriving with fresh troops and renewed vigor. After weeks of fierce fighting, Richard's forces managed to break Saladin's siege, capturing Acre. But this victory came at a high cost. Thousands of Muslim prisoners were taken captive. Richard, frustrated by negotiations over their ransom, ordered their execution, a moment that sent shockwaves through both camps. Saladin, though angered by the loss, remained composed. He continued his defensive strategy, knowing that Jerusalem, not Acre, was the true prize of the Crusades. The stage was set for a showdown between two of history's most formidable leaders. In September 1191, Richard and Saladin faced off near Arsuf, a coastal city. Richard's forces were advancing along the coast when Saladin launched a surprise attack. But Richard, using his tactical prowess, managed to counter the ambush, achieving a decisive victory. Despite this setback, Saladin was far from defeated. He harassed Richard's forces as they moved south, using guerrilla tactics and scorched earth strategies. The two leaders continued to clash, most notably at Jaffa in 1192, where Richard led a daring counterattack, driving Saladin's troops back into the hills. Yet, beneath the surface of battle, a mutual respect was growing. Richard admired Saladin's chivalry, while Saladin respected Richard's courage. At times, Saladin even sent Richard fruit and snow from the mountains to relieve his fever, a gesture that would become legendary in tales of chivalry and honor. By September 1192, both leaders were weary of the prolonged conflict, and the realities of war set in. Richard realized that he could not take Jerusalem without more reinforcements, while Saladin knew that his resources were stretched thin. The two finally agreed to a truce, known as the Treaty of Ramla. The treaty allowed Christian pilgrims access to Jerusalem, while the city remained under Muslim control. It wasn't the total victory either side had hoped for, but it brought a fragile peace to a war-torn land. Saladin and Richard would never meet again. Richard returned to Europe, where he faced political struggles of his own, and Saladin continued to rule until his death in 1193. He died not as a wealthy ruler, but as a man who gave much of his wealth to the poor and to rebuilding the lands devastated by war. Saladin's legacy as a just and noble leader left a lasting impression, even among his enemies. To this day, he is remembered not just as a warrior, but as a symbol of leadership, generosity, and faith. Richard's courage and tactical brilliance, meanwhile, made him a legend in Europe, his name still evoking images of the ideal knight. Saladin and Richard the Lionheart, two men from different worlds, brought together by faith and war. Their story is a testament to the complexities of history, where even enemies can find respect amidst the chaos of battle. What do you think? Could such respect exist in today's world of conflict? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more captivating tales from the past on Legends of Crescent. Thank you for watching.